Hi everyone, it's Olivia from Girlybunches, and in this week's video I'm going to be showing you how to do this stitch, which is really quite unusual but really fun to do, quite easy to do, very easy to do. In fact, it only uses trebles and doubles, and it has this nice sort of feature stitch which comes down from a row, skips 2 rows and works into one that you've already worked, and it gives this sort of nice woven effect. I really love it. It looks great on both sides, which is always really handy when you're working out what projects you're doing and what you want it to look like. So blankets or scarves or anything that you'll be using that will be visible from both sides. It will be good for bags as well because you can see inside as well. And there's no sort of ugly stitches on the back, so that's always nice to know. And yeah, I've used these nice bright colours just to emphasise this sort of stitch, but I do think it works great with bright coloured yarns just to kind of make it all pop out. So I really hope you enjoy this tutorial, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So starting with my first colour, I'm going to be using grey here, and you want to start off with a base chain that is of multiples of 4 plus 4. So I've got 20 stitches here, so that's my 16, which is my multiple of 4 plus 4. The first thing we need to do is we need to work trebles all the way along. So we're going to do one treble, which you may know as a double, but I'm British so I call it a treble because that's what I do. And we're going to work one treble into the 4th chain from the hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So into that one we're going to work a treble. And I'll put links down below in the description box on all the stitches. And I do have a mini series which just briefly explains each crochet stitch. So if you have crocheted before but just need a quick refresher, then that's ideal because it's like a 2-minute video, so it's just like a quick quick version. So we're just doing one treble into each of those chains, and that first 3 chains that we didn't use replaces a treble, it becomes a treble. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we just keep going to the end. Just done that, and we've got one treble in each of those stitches, each of those chains, and now I'm going to keep the same colour yarn on, and I'm going to chain 1, turn the work around, and then do 1 double crochet, which you may know as a single, into the top of each one of those trebles from the previous row, sorry I should say. I'm used to working in rounds. Okay, so you just make your way across, just doing your double crochet into the top all the way along. Okay, so we're just doing one last double crochet into the top of those 3 chains from that previous round, and that's our first 2 rows completed. So I'm going to cut my yarn here. I'm going to change to my next colour. So that's where I'm going to turn the work around and change to my next colour, which is going to be yellow, and I'm going to put that on my hook. And then I'm going to start by working into the top of that last double crochet from that row. And here what we need to do is we need to chain 3 to replace a treble. That's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a treble into the next stitch along. So there we go, there's our treble, and I'm going to do 2 chains. I'm going to skip 2 stitches, so skip those 2, and then these 2 here I'm going to do a treble in each. So we're going to skip those 2, I'm going to do a treble in the third one along, and a treble into the next one along, and then I'm going to repeat that by doing 2 chains, skipping the next 2 stitches and doing a treble into that third one along and then the next one along. Again, 2 chains, skip the next 2 stitches and a treble into that third one along, and then the next one. And then we're going to do 2 chains, we're going to skip those 2, and then we should have just 2 stitches left, which we do, and we're going to just do trebles into the last 2. Oops. Okay, so we've had a chain, a row of trebles, a row of double crochets, and now we've got a row of trebles with 2 chain spaces, and we're making that sort of open grid there. Okay, so for the next row, we're going to keep the same colour again, and we're going to, this time, we're going to chain 1 and turn the work, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the top of each of the trebles, like so. And we're going to do 2 chains, two chains, oh my goodness, over the top of our 2 chains from the previous row, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the top of the trebles. So wherever there's a treble, you do a double crochet into it, and wherever there is a chain, then you'll repeat the chains. So it's 2 chains and then 2 double crochets. So that's, when I say 2, that's 1 into the top of each treble, and then 2 chains, and then a double crochet into the top of each treble, and then 2 chains and a double crochets to finish. So that's what we should have so far. So I'm going to attach my next colour, my third colour, onto the hook, and then starting when in that last stitch we made, I'm going to put my hook in and just do a slip stitch to join that new colour. So I'm just going to chain 1 and I just do a double crochet into the top of that stitch and a double crochet into the top of that stitch along. So 2 double crochets, 1 into the top of each of those stitches there. And now I'm going to do a treble, but I'm going to do the treble over the top and into that grey from the second row. And don't do it too tight because you don't want to pull it down too much, but that makes that bar then that comes over the top. So into the next one the same, a treble, don't pull it too tight, you want to pull that up so you've got that yarn going nicely above the yellow, and it makes that nice bar feature, and that's how you get that sort of woven look. So again, into the next 2 stitches I'm going to do a double, and then where we've got those 2 chain spaces we're going to do the treble into that second row, so that's the top of the grey, and again don't put it too tight, make sure you've got enough yarn to go around that yellow, and that's how you work the stitch. So another treble again into the next one and finish it off, and then again doubles into the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to work the treble around, so you're going over the top in front of the yellow, down, pull it up around the back, and make sure you've got enough yarn there to sit comfortably on top of the yellow, so you're not pulling it too tightly, and it wraps around nicely. And there we go, into the top of the next 2 stitches are going to be a double, and then we're going to do our trebles into that grey, and one more in there, and then a double into the last 2 stitches. So we've got that, and as you can see, perfect for using bright colours with, makes everything really pop out. And then the next row we're going to do is we're going to chain 1, turn it around, and into the top of each one of these stitches we're just going to do a double all the way to the end. So nice and easy row, just a double all the way to the end. There we go, I can cut my yarn there now. So there we go, that is basically how you do the stitch, and then what you would do is you would then continue with your first colour, so you would do a row of trebles and then your doubles, and then you would do your yellow colour or your second colour, and you would do your trebles with 2 chains, trebles, 2 chains, trebles, 2 chains, and then you would do your row of double crochets with 2 chains, double crochet with 2 chains, and then you'd come back with your third colour doing the double crochets into the top of your double crochets, and then doing your trebles into your second round, and your double crochets and your trebles going over the top of that yellow, and yeah, and then again just to finish with your third colour, just doing 1 row of double crochets. So here's my finished sample with the all the ends sewn in, which is always a bit nicer, isn't it? And I love this, I think it just looks so fab, especially when you use sort of bright contrasting colours, and dare I say it, it looks quite masculine, and I don't really like sort of putting that sort of label on things because, you know, it's a free world and you can wear what you like, in my opinion. But if you are looking for something that's a little bit less girly maybe, but you know, again, I feel uncomfortable saying that because I really love it and I'm a girl, so you know, it's individual taste, isn't it? But if you were looking for something a little bit different and not too girly and just sort of, oh, I love it, I just love this, then yeah, this is a great stitch and really simple to do and grows quite quickly because most rows are trebles. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'd love a thumbs up if you did. If you've got any questions, put them in the description, in the question boxes down below. Comments box, that's what they're called, isn't it, Olivia? Oh dear. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you did subscribe. I think the button's down there now. I'll put links down below to all the stitches that I use, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.